This illustration deals with ampacity tables, and of course it's in accordance with NEC 310.15a, informational notes 1 through 4. And notice the purpose of change here. Tables 310.15, B as in boy 1 and B 2 has been relocated. And it's been relocated from 310.15B2A and B in the 2017 or from the 2017 National Electrical Code. Now let's take a look at the cord and plug connected type equipment that's to the right here. And you see you have flexible cord and cables listed here. First you have the cable, then you have the cord, and 400.4, first bullet there. And 310.15a is an apple, informational note 3, then that deals with this. Now, to get the ampacity of a flexible cord that you see there, or cable, you go to tables 400.4, 400.5, and table 400.5a is an apple 2, and then the section that refers and tells you to kind of do this is 310.15, A is an apple, informational note 3, but that's the tables you would use. Fixture wire that you see here, then you would go to 402.5, you'd look at table 402.3, and again 310.15a, informational note 3. Now what we're pointing out here, fixture wire is different than flexible cords and cables, and your tables are different as you see listed there, so that you would know that. So you have the sections that refer you to that. Now let's review the notes. And note 1 is the ampacity of conductors can be determined by engineering supervision or by applying the tables. 310.15a tells you this. Now, inspectors like for you to use the tables because we can go through the tables and go through the calculation procedures, and inspectors can understand what an engineer's done. But notice where the authority having jurisdiction allows it, engineering supervision and the formulas that are listed there in 310.15 very clearly can be used, but some cities have in the ordinance you can't do that. You have to use the tables so that the inspectors, plan checkers, and folks like that can understand what the engineer has done. Note 2, you can kind of interpole there based upon the conductor area and not the conductor overall area for 310.15a, informational note 2, and table 8 to chapter 9. In other words, if I come up, say, with a cross-sectional area and it's higher than the one below it, then you could move up to the next size, or interpole where you don't have a particular rating listed in your table, say 8 to chapter 9. For letter types, in note 4, you'd see tables 310.4a and 310.4b is referenced from 310.15a, informational note 4. Now, we covered that real good in an illustration, those changes. Now, for ampacities of flexible cords and cables, and we're telling you to see 400.5, that would cover your cords, and 310.15a, informational note 3. And then we listed those sections to you for fixture wire. Now that pretty well takes care of these ampacity tables and how they apply based upon the size wire. Now notice all this wire is smaller. I can connect a flexible cord and plug it into a receptacle on the wall that's 20 amp and a 20 amp device, and that would be legal when I go over to 240.4 and 5 and reference those sections. In other words, I wouldn't be using table 310.10 for the branch circuit, and these conductors can be smaller. And that's where the code talks about these smaller conductors in 240.4D as in dog, And then when you go over to 240.5, you get permission to do all this stuff. And when I say stuff, using smaller conductors to tap into larger conductors protected by larger overcurrent protective devices. And I think that pretty well will kind of let you know why these tables were relocated, and so that you could start reading. You'd be in the same area and you wouldn't have to drift further down into the code to pick up your rule, and then hopefully we'll all be on the same page, and some of the problems we've had in the past will be alleviated by the way the code is outlined today.